everyone, welcome to a little belly dance workout focusing on hip circles. So I'll go through the hip circle, well not just hip circles, other circles too, that we're going to incorporate. So it's a really nice one to practice your circles with, so it's nice for beginners, but also it's a nice toning workout for more experienced dancers. So the first circle we're going to start with is legs together circle, which makes your waist muscles work harder. And keep a softness in the knees. You always have a little bit of softness, so you get that little tailbone tuck, so everything is nice and straight in the spine. Spine stays straight all the time. And you just trying to keep the torso still. If it helps, hold it. And then just press your hips in a circle. Now you don't move the pelvis at all. That's another move which we'll be doing later. So your hips, your pelvis stays absolutely still. All you're doing is pressing out. So if you think of your legs as a long line, the pivot point is your ankles. Clamp your knees together and then just press, trying to keep that torso still as the lower half moves. And it doesn't matter if you don't get as large a range of motion as I do, that's fine. Okay, and then swing it back again. If I demonstrate that from the side, we're going, so the spine stays straight, the legs are relatively straight, you've got a soft bend in the knee, but you're not pushing from the knees. It's not like an Egyptian circle, you're still quite straight, knees are close together, so you're working those waist muscles, just pressing your weight around and pressing it around. Only we're going to add a little bounce to this because it's a very bouncy song, so there'll be lots of bouncing in these circles. And so you just thump the heels, just raising the heels and doing little thumps off the floor. Okay, so just bouncing that around, bouncing, and then change direction. Lovely, straightforward. The other kind of hip circle we're doing is a deeper hip circle. So legs are wider apart, you're sitting a little bit deeper, you've got that tailbone tuck, and we're going to do actually half circles. So you're pressing those hips forward, and so you lean your weight to the side, swing the hips forward to the other side, and just keep swinging it to the side. Again, trying to stay stable in the torso and just swinging and swooping those hips side to side. Okay, so if I did that from the side, maintaining that posture, so you press your hips to the side, swing it forward and back, swing it forward, push it back a little, push it back a little. Okay, so it's a nice swoop. Then of course there's the back half circle, so it's hips to the side, press it forward. You can afford to lean a little bit forward as they press back, but you still maintain a straight spine. So you're not going to curve over like that, not elegant. So it's always straight in the spine. Nice, keep that little tuck there. So it's press forward. And honestly, the weight of your bum just hauls you around one way and hauls you around the other. It's quite nice. So from the side again, just to demonstrate the spine. So you're pushing to the side, swing it forward and up. Arms, it feels more comfortable to reach them forward or maybe fold them into the chest. Okay, lovely. And we'll add bumps and bounces if that feels right. And we're going to do a travelling stepping move, okay? So to travel with a hip circle, it's the same feeling of swooping and swinging the hips. So as you take a step, you're going to press it forward and around, forward and around. It's more like a 3/4 circle. The biggest swoop is on the side that you're travelling, and then stepping back, give it a big swoop. Trying again to keep that torso nice and still as you swing and swoop. And again, it doesn't matter if your swoop isn't as exaggerated as mine. It's better that you keep your spine nice and straight and don't compromise on that. And chest, of course, our chest circles. So with chest isolations, and these are going to be slow ones, so you've got the time, we'll probably pose a little on one leg first. because it looks nicer than that. And so again, a little tailbone tuck, and if you can get a little movement side to side and a bit of movement up and down, and the down is by pulling in the belly button up and then crunching it in, you can definitely do a chest circle. So if you focus, you're going slightly to the side, if you focus on going as high as you can with the chest and then just squeeze in the belly, high as you can with the chest, squeeze in the belly, gradually as your muscles get used to it, the circle can become more pronounced, but don't get frustrated if you can't do a big defined chest circle. Just focus on getting up and crunching it in, up and crunching in, and then just softening it around the edges. Okay, there's going to be a few more bits in this because this is for routine, but that will get you started. So our beginning is we're just going to bump those heels and press those hips so our legs are together, one couple in one direction, and then we'll change direction. Also, I find when you're doing curvy moves like circles, it's quite nice to do wrist circles, but only if that's an extra that you've got time to think about. If you want to just focus on hips, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to do 2 bumpy circles one way, 2 bumpy circles the other way. Now we're going travelling. Again, if you haven't got space, just down the spot. So, and take little steps anyway. It's more important is to get the hip swing than it is to cover a large area. Okay, so we've got that little swing. When we get there, we're going to have flat Egyptian hands, which helps pull the shoulders out the ears, and we're going to hit our hips side to side. Then we're going to thrust our chest upwards and crunch. Then again, side to side, and again, upwards and crunch. Then we're going to hip circle in the other direction. So it'll be 4 steps. Travelling, swinging and swooping that hip as much as you can. And again, side, side, up, crunch, side, side, up, crunch. And then, that's it until we get into the chorus, which is the bit that's most repeated, obviously. So here we go, friends, from the top with our little leg together bumpy hip circles. Change direction. Ready for travelling. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Hit side to side. Chest up, crunch. Side, side, up, crunch. Step the other way. Hips go side, side, up, crunch. Side, side, up, crunch. Good. Lovely. So now we're in the chorus. We're going to do this bit a lot. So we're going to go into those half circles. And again, because you can hear the beat, if you want to sort of bounce into the beat, that's fine, or just focus on doing a smooth circle. So we're going to swing our hips from one side to the other. So swoop it to one side, swoop it to the other. And there, with our weight there, we're going to do a hip washing machine. That's my term for it, where you sink down, shift the weight up and around. So we're only going to do one, but if you were going to do it repeatedly, it's a hip circle where you're just shifting the weight up, down and around. But we're only going to do one of those in that direction. Okay, so I'll repeat that. We're going to hip swing, swing the hips forward one way, swing them to the other. From there, we're going to go down, around and up. Now we're going to reverse, but this time we're going to start the other hip, but we're going to swing a half circle backwards. So swoop it back and front, swoop back and front, and from there, hip washing machine. Okay, recapping that. So it'll be bouncy, half circle front, hip washing machine, hip circle back, hip circle back, hip washing machine. Okay, and then we're going to do little stepping circles. So similar idea, but instead of constantly travelling on one foot, we're going to just do tiny little treading steps and just letting those hips swing us round, and we're going to swing until our back is turned, so you'll need to face back to me to see what we're going to do. So imagine we've just turned our backs. We're going to raise the heel and we're going to push our hip up, down, raise the other heel up, down, and then we're going to do that treading step, bringing ourselves forward, going up, down, change, up, down. So this is what it looks like. Watch me first, because you'll have your back to me otherwise. So here we go. So it's stepping, there's probably about 3 or 4 circles, and then hip goes up, down, and then tread and swing those hips around and repeat up, down. Okay, friends. So doing it just that chorus part first. I can't see the time code on this. Oh, we're almost there. Here we go. So ready for the chorus. Bounce hips forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back. Down. Oh, we do 2 apparently. Sorry about that. Bend forward. And back again. Hips down, around, up, reverse. And now step it around. Ready with your hip up and down. Up, down. Change hip up, down. Tread it around, back to the front. Up, down, change, up, down. Good. So let's put those 2 parts together. So from the beginning, which is the straight leg, bump, travel to the side, hip, tick, down, hip, tick, down, reverse, and then into that chorus. Here we go. Just follow me, girls. Don't try and remember that. Ready to travel to the side. Here we go. Then it'll be hip, chest crunch, hip, chest crunch. Again, hip, chest crunch, hip, chest crunch. Bounce forward, back, 2 washing machines, down, around, and up, reverse. Now backwards. Hip washing machine down, around, and up, and change. Stepping around. Ready with that hip up and down, change. Up, down, step it front. And up, down, change. Up, down. Lovely. Right, now we go into the verse. And it's nice and slow, so we're going to focus on our chest rotations. So we finished with this foot raised with our hip. So we'll stay in that pose and do our chest rotation. So that's just pushing it up, around, really crunching those abs. Up. Oh, and you can do it 3 in one direction if that's easier, or you can change direction each time. So we're just doing 3. And then put that foot back. We're going to do a torso circle, which is where you fold at the waist with a flat back and just swoop around and up. And we're going to add a shoulder shimmy if you wanted to. So it'll be a little shoulder shimmy around and up. And then we're going to do, she says, looking at her notes, an ummi. So this is a pelvic tuck circle, and the only thing to remember is the pelvic tuck circle all happens in front. You never tilt the pelvis and compress the spine at the back. So it is soft knees, and we're going to push one hip up. Now really pull in the stomach and the pelvic floor. Really pull that pelvic floor in tight so it really tucks up that pelvis. Push the other hip up and then just sit back so the spine goes back to neutral. Okay, I'll repeat that. So that's hip up. Then you really crunch and tuck it all in. Push the hip up and sit. From the side, just to show you how the spine stays straight, it's hip pushes up, you crunch pelvic floor and stomach, push the other hip up and sit back to neutral. And you smooth that off into a little circle. So it's up, crunch, up and sit. And then you can change direction, up, crunch, up and sit. Or if it's easier to repeat the same direction, do so. We're going to do 3 of those as we did with the chest. And then we're going to shimmy up into standing because we've been slightly sitting. I'll repeat that. So this is our chorus. So we've just come out of little treading circles, hip up, and then I find if my hands are on my hips or at the front, it makes it much easier to get that chest moving. So chest up and around, 2 and 3, and then shimmy the shoulders around. And then we're going to do hip up, crunch and tuck, up, crunch and tuck, up, crunch and tuck, shimmy up. Okay, so that's our verse. So let me take us back and we'll practice that. So coming out of the chorus, chest circle, change direction, now torso shimmy, and pelvic crunch up, and the other way, shimmy it up. And then we go straight into our chorus, which is the hip bumps washing machines. Okay, so we'll go from the beginning, we'll do all of that into the chorus, and then we'll stop at a, actually just follow me, and then there's a funny bit I'll go through with you. We'll just keep going because I've given you a lot of the moves already. Okay, starting from the top. Change direction, ready to travel, little stepping circles, hips side to side, chest up and down, hip, hip, chest crunch, hip, hip, chest crunch, so bounce those hips. Hip washing machine around and up, change direction, stepping circles, with your back turn to the hip raise up and down, change foot, stepping circles all the way round to the front, again, hip goes up, down, change, up, so chest circles now, change direction, torso shimmy circle, pelvic circle, remember not to tilt on that spine, keep everything forward, shimmy it up, hips half circle, hips go down, around and up, again, down, around and up. Stepping it round, ready that hip up and down. Change. Stepping all the way around to the front. Repeat those hips. Change. Yay! Right. So actually we could have just done the verse. It's just the same verse as we did before. Didn't realise that. So we'll do that, do the verse again, do the chorus again, and then this comes to a bit where the music goes a bit different. And we're going to do shimmy circles. So shimmy circles much easier if you've got wider legs. And you're sitting deep. The deeper you sit, the more you can push against the floor and get a good shimmy on. Now, you might find adding a circle is a little bit too much, so you can choose to just do the circle or just do the shimmy, but just give it a go and have a bash anyway. And we're going to do little shimmy circles, and you can do these on the spot, or if you want an extra challenge, you can tread them around. I think we get about 4 of them. Okay, so you're just shimmying and circling. And then we're just, for a variety, we're going to do some Mayas, which is figure of 8 hips, vertical figure of 8 hips, which is soft dipping. I've got a belly dance basics video on Mayas as well, and all these circles that I've been showing you. So there's lots on the channel that you can refer to. So we're just going to have a little bit of a wriggle. That's what I think of it. It's just a bit of a wriggle up and down, you know, just have some fun on that. That's only for a few seconds anyway. And then we're going into, she says, looking at her notes discreetly. Oh, yes. We're going to do some few hits. And then we're going to do some more torso shimmy circles. Music goes all jiggly. And because we're working the chest this time, we're going to do some raises and drops with our chest. So up, down, down. Okay, and then we just finish off with some travelling hip circles as before. You've got all the info, darlings. Just follow me. It will be brilliant. Here we go. From the top, the whole thing. Just repeat and do this as often as you like to get it right. But honestly, girls, just have fun and relax. It doesn't matter if there's mistakes or there's tricky bits. Just go with the flow. It's much more fun. Here we go. And change direction. So we're going travelling. Little mini steps. Keep feet close together. So hips go side to side. Then chest goes up and down. I bounced them from a different side, and it doesn't matter. And I do this one the other way as well. Treading little hip circles around, just halfway, ready for that hip raise up and down. Again, hip raise up, down. Change. Chest rotation. Got to change direction. Shimmy it up. Hip circles. Half circles. Washing machine. Treading circles around on the spot. Up and down. Coming into the verse again, that's chest rotations. Washing machine. Reverse. Oh, so this is our little hip shimmies. You can do them round on the spot or just keep still. and just have a wriggle. Ready with the hips?
يلي ما شفتي جمالك والله انا روحي
chest and pose. Yay! Did you notice I went a bit quiet somewhere and thought, what's next? Doesn't matter. We kept moving. Well done, darlings. Enjoy that. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. Requests always welcome. So if there's anything you'd like to practice, any basics you'd like me to go through, very happy to oblige. Just PM me or leave a comment on the YouTube channel. Thank you.